Hi, this is Greg Capstrid, and I've got a very important question for you. Why is it that only 5% of entrepreneurs go on to become millionaires, while the other 95% continue to struggle, get frustrated, and never achieve their potential? If you're like most entrepreneurs, being in business for yourself was supposed to create more money and give you more time to enjoy it all. So, how's that working for you so far? You're probably working harder than you ever have, but you're seeing less results. Maybe you need to create or rebuild your financial foundation, because worrying about money and the future is a constant struggle and challenge that you're sick and tired of having. And where do you even start to get the right information and the help you need to build your business? Now, for most people these days, there's way too much information coming at them, and they're constantly feeling overwhelmed, confused, and even a little scared. Now, in the past, you've probably seen what looked like the solution to your problem, so you bought it, but you never had time to try it, and it's still sitting on your shelf. Maybe you can relate to this, and you're feeling overwhelmed yourself. You don't know what to focus on, and you don't know who you can trust. I mean, when was the last time you said to yourself, man, I just wish I had more information to read and look through? My guess is that your inbox is overflowing and you keep putting things aside to read later, but you never get to them. Well, if any of this sounds familiar, you are in the right place. In this first video of my brand new training series, I'm going to show you exactly how Steve Jobs, the visionary entrepreneur behind the world's most admired company, Apple, was able to overcome challenges including near bankruptcy and create the most valuable company in the world using a very simple strategy that you'll be able to model and use yourself. With his recent passing, the world has truly lost one of the most important entrepreneurs of our generation in Steve Jobs. He made the world a better place and had such a profound impact on the business world that most people don't even realize it. I'll show you the incredible shift that he created in the world and how ignoring it is guaranteed to lead you to business failure. And finally, I'll prove to you that the information age is over and that the old rules of business and marketing no longer apply. Even better, I'll show you what the iEffect is and exactly how you can reposition yourself to take advantage of this new reality, while most others get crushed. Now, these aren't gimmicks or tactics, but they're the exact same strategies that I've used personally in my own businesses to generate more than $200 million of sales and transactions, and to build a multi-million-dollar net worth in 4 different businesses 4 different times. In this training series, I'll be sharing several powerful videos and downloads with you. Each one gives you a different piece of the puzzle on how to become one of the top 5% entrepreneurs. And to make sure you get as much out of this as possible, I've also created a downloadable PDF that goes even deeper into the concepts I'm sharing with you. I've got lots to cover, so let's get started. Now, over the past couple of years, I've felt the same economic challenges that you have because, frankly, they've been impossible for anyone to ignore. I was finding myself working harder and harder and yet getting less results. And I realized what used to work for me really well just wasn't working anymore. So I decided to invest a lot of time and a lot of money to really analyze what was changing in business. And I spoke to many of the greatest entrepreneurs and marketing minds in the entire world. And in doing so, I stumbled across what I believe is not only the key to my company's future, but yours as well. And when I discovered these simple yet profound concepts, I immediately began to reposition my company and refocus everything we do. I knew that I couldn't ignore what was happening, and I'm going to show you exactly what I did so that you can do the very same thing. And the results prove that I was right. While most companies right now are struggling to survive or grow, last month was a record month for my companies. And the reality is you can turn things around and apply these very same concepts immediately if you listen carefully what I'm going to cover, even in this economic landscape. But before we do that, I need to share some disturbing facts with you. You've heard the saying, the truth shall set you free. Well, I hope you don't mind hearing the reality and unvarnished truth about being an entrepreneur and creating wealth. There are lots of people out there ready to take your money and tell you what you want to hear. I'm not one of them, so if you're looking for a magic pill, I'd suggest you do a Google search for Get Rich Quick. Or buy a ticket for the lottery because your odds of becoming rich are about the same. Now, on the other hand, if you finally realize that you need to change something because what you're doing right now just isn't working like it should, and you're ready to stop playing business and you want to get serious about building a profitable company, then you need to pay close attention to what I'm going to tell you in this training. So let's talk about the real world when it comes to being an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs are divided into two groups. The first group is made up of 95% of all entrepreneurs who make an average of $52,000 per year from their business. When you're part of that 95%, you're frustrated because you have to work a lot harder, you're overwhelmed and feel more stress, and you're confused about how you're going to make things better. You keep hearing that there are so many opportunities out there, but you're too buried in your own mess to see them. You know deep down that your business should be serving you instead of you being a slave to the work that never ends. As I like to say, some days having your own business is even worse than having a job because it's a job that you can't even quit. You've got no choice but to get up day after day trying to get things on track. Now, if you're in this 95% group, it's probably even affecting your health and the important relationships in your life. You keep telling yourself that you'll improve those things once you get the business going, but you have no plan or roadmap to make that happen, and you've got no time to try and come up with this magic plan because you're just trying to keep the wheels on the bus. In those moments of honesty with yourself, you realize that for things to change, you've got to change as well. But you don't know where to start, you don't know who to trust, and you don't even have the time to figure it out. I know what it feels like to be in that 95% because I've been there more than once myself. But here's the good news. There is a better way. So let's talk about that. Where you really want to be is in the other group, the top 5%. These entrepreneurs make an average of $1 million a year or more and see their net worth grow quickly. Here's what happens when you're in the top 5%. You've got financial freedom because your personal income is $1 million a year or more and you have no debt to worry about. You've got money in the bank, no credit card debt, and never wonder how you're going to pay the bills. You're fulfilled and passionate and you're inspired to get up each day, excited to figure out new ways to serve your clients and add value. Plus, you know you're making a difference in the world and being able to contribute and give back. When you're in the top 5%, you've got clarity and confidence. It also means that you're able to take time away from your business and spend it with family and friends. And when you're away from the business, you don't even think about it or have any worries. You spend your time excited about the future and dreaming up new ideas, rather than cleaning up old messes and worrying about the past. Now, at the beginning of this video, I asked you what separates the 95% of entrepreneurs that struggle from the 5% that become millionaires and live the life of their dreams. So, what is it that separates these two groups? What do you have to do in order to move from down here to up here? What's this bridge that gets you from the bottom to the top? Well, the missing piece that separates the 5% from the rest is becoming the trusted authority. See, the top 5% have become the trusted authority in the marketplace. They've established themselves as the leader in the market using what I call the trusted authority formula. Now, to prove this to you, let me give you a couple of examples of great entrepreneurs that have become the trusted authority in their market, and we'll see what it did for their income and their net worth. This first person was born into poverty in rural Mississippi. She was raped at 9 years old. She ran away at 13, and by 14, she was pregnant. She faced racism because she was black, and she faced gender bias because she was a woman. She had everything going against her and all the excuses to use why she couldn't be the trusted authority in her market. But she decided to do it anyway, and now she's considered the world's most influential woman. Oprah had a lot of things working against her. So if she can become the trusted authority in her market, why can't you? Let me show you another example of someone who became the trusted authority. This guy was born to an unmarried woman who put him up for adoption. He went on to become a college dropout and was never able to graduate. He slept on friends' couches and returned Coke bottles to make ends meet. He got free meals from a church each week to survive. He decided to start a company when he was only 21 years old, but then he got fired a few years later. He then went out and started another company, which ended up failing. With nothing else to do, he decided to go back to that company he'd originally started because his passion and vision were still strong. He had a lot of failures and challenges in his life and all the reasons why he couldn't become the trusted authority. But he made a decision and remained committed. And that company he started early on has now become the world's most valuable company. He wasn't given any advantages, but his passion, his vision, and his commitment to excellence allowed Steve Jobs to become a world-class trusted authority admired by millions. He affected an entire generation and literally changed the way that you and I communicate, work, and play. His contributions to this world will never be forgotten. Now, I can give you 100 examples of people that didn't have any advantage, but still became the trusted authority. But here's the point. Look at any industry that you want, and when you think about the top performers in that market, the reason that they're at the top is because they chose to become the trusted authority. And here's the good news. Becoming the trusted authority is not as difficult as you might think. In fact, when you know how to do it, almost anyone can become the trusted authority very quickly. See, most people think that to be the authority, you have to have the most experience, be the biggest, or have the most education. The truth is, none of that really matters. And I'll show you that in the next video. That's a complete myth that's keeping you from exploding your business. And in that next video, you're going to learn what the real secret is to becoming the trusted authority. Steve Jobs was able to master this concept better than almost any entrepreneur in the world, and he's been one of my heroes for many years. He was considered the trusted authority in his market, and it's because he applied these very same strategies that I'm revealing to you in this training. And here's where this gets very interesting, because you probably never even realized the impact he's truly had on you and your business. Now, as I told you earlier, I've spent a lot of time researching and analyzing the shift that's happening in the business world right now. You probably know what I'm talking about, not just the economic changes, but you can sense that there's this shift happening and the old rules of business simply aren't working anymore. But maybe you're struggling to understand why. The fundamental problem for most entrepreneurs is that they're still operating in the information age. The problem is we're all buried with information and completely overwhelmed. See, marketing and sales used to be about putting more information out there than your competitors. The more, the better. But something has changed in the last few years, and that's creating a massive shift in the way that you need to do business if you want to succeed or even survive. And this secret is something that I call the iEffect, because it's the core reason that Steve Jobs was able to create the world's largest and most successful company. So, what is the iEffect? Here it is. People don't buy information. They buy transformation. Let me say that again. People don't buy information anymore. They buy transformation. Think about this. When somebody buys a weight loss product or a gym membership, they're really not that interested in learning more information or getting a bunch of education. Ultimately, they want their body to transform, and that's the outcome they really want. The faster, the better. Or consider someone who hires a business coach. The truth is, they're not looking to spend hours on the phone talking or gathering more information. What they're really looking for is a transformation in their business. And the faster they can get it, the more they're willing to pay. Now, think about what Apple is all about. They take a complicated thing like a computer and make it incredibly easy to use. And they've even created completely new categories of things we didn't even know we needed. I mean, when I first heard about the iPad, I thought it was a crazy idea. I mean, who would pay hundreds of dollars to have a little media player that they could take with them? Well, apparently I would, along with millions of other people, because I now own 3 iPads. And here's the thing you have to focus on. Most people don't understand what business Apple is actually in. They're not in the business of selling computers. In fact, that's why a few years ago they actually dropped the word computer from their name and they're just called Apple. They're also not really in the business of selling information, even though they do generate billions of dollars selling content. No, the real business they're in is helping their clients get the transformation that they're looking for. Think about the Apple commercials. They don't talk about how many pages of information the iPad will hold. They focus on how simple their products are. They show moments when people are learning, having breakthroughs, and creating connections with others. They help you see that if you buy their product, your life will be better. Your life will be simpler. You'll undergo a transformation. And I've seen this in my own life. Apple has created products that make my life better, much easier, and allow me to get some of the transformations that I want. Their design is so powerful and simple that my son Cooper was able to unlock my iPhone, find his cartoon app, and play it all on his own before he was 2 years old. In a world of complexity, Apple has made life much more simple for its clients. So think about how Apple has transformed people's lives. It's not a coincidence that they're now the largest company in the world and growing even bigger and stronger. People don't want information because information has become a commodity. The information age is over and we've moved into the transformation age. Okay, so now let's talk about you. How can you put the iEffect into your business? How can you become the trusted authority and one of the top 5% entrepreneurs? Well, obviously, it's time to start thinking about what you do in a different way. You need to realize that you can become the trusted authority if you decide that's what you want to do. And in the next video, I'll show you exactly what it takes to become the trusted authority and how to do it. Now, the other major shift you need to make is focusing on the transformation that your market is trying to get. It's not about being the one with the most information, the most education, or even the most experience. If you deliver the transformation that your market's after, you'll become the trusted authority and dominate your market. You'll rise to the top 5% because people pay a lot more for transformation than they do information. And so remember that information is a commodity, but transformation is priceless. Okay, I've covered a lot of ground here, so I want to wrap up by giving you a powerful tool that will let you apply the iEffect in your business right now. I've created a special PDF report called the iEffect, and in it I explore this incredible concept even deeper and reveal some very surprising things about Steve Jobs that you probably didn't even know. I also show you why he was considered one of the most engaging and powerful presenters the world has ever seen, which is another one of the incredible legacies he left behind. You'll learn the 3 stunning secrets he used to keep his presentation simple, powerful, and very memorable. And I guarantee that if you apply what I show you in this report, you'll increase the power and impact of your materials and presentations by at least 200%. And another cool thing, I've included a huge surprise in the PDF. If you're not already 100% crystal clear on your passions and personal values, you're going to finally get a tool that'll help you figure them out. This tool alone is worth downloading the PDF, and you'll see what I mean when you try this incredible tool out. Okay, the last thing that I want to tell you is I really need your help. I'm creating these videos because I really want to help you grow your business, simplify your life, and learn strategies that you can implement immediately. So I need you to post a comment below about what you got out of this video and tell me your single biggest challenge when it comes to growing a successful business. Now, I'm going to be creating the next video based on the feedback I get, so hearing from you is very important to me. Below this video, post a comment and tell me what the biggest learning lesson was that you got from the video and what your single biggest challenge is when it comes to growing a successful business. And I'm going to reward you for helping me on this. From all the comments and posts that I receive, I'm going to choose the one that I think adds the most value and shares the best lesson that was learned in this video. And the winner is going to receive, well, guess what? That's right, the winner is going to get a brand new Apple iPad 2. And remember to log into Facebook before you post so we can contact you if you're the winner. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'm really excited to create the next one for you when I'll show you exactly how to become the trusted authority and explode your value. So please post a comment below. Good luck in the contest, and I'll see you in the next video. And thank you, Steve Jobs, for the impact that you've had on me and on this world. You're going to be deeply missed.